journey, okay? In 1975, in Tazaki Shango, she debuted a choreo poem entitled "For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough." This experimental play was a series of 20 poems written by Shango, expressing the many struggles and obstacles that Black women face throughout their lives. In the 1970s, when Shango herself was performing in the choreo poems, she was constantly revising them, making them more authentic so that they are describing Black female identity and experiences and just trying to convey it in a real way. The cast was full of 7 women, each woman known by her color. There was the lady in brown, lady in red, lady in orange, lady in yellow, green, blue, and purple. This story has been on stages, on Broadway, most recently on film, countless runs at local high school and college theaters all across the country. So while the Black female experience often looms during womanhood, there are many life-altering incidents that happen when they're young. The stories of abuse and trauma that are recounted in the For Colored Girls poems, they're oftentimes rooted during the adolescent and teenage years, which is very important. So for anyone of any race, color, or hue, you might be able to relate. Statistics show that Black females are less likely than white females to report incidents of abuse. This piece here is part of a larger exhibit called Sex Crimes Against Black Girls. It was debuted in Brooklyn in February 2011, so this year, and this is one piece of many. The exhibit ran for 2 months, and it featured a series of photographs by Delphine Fowundo. She reimagined see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But if you notice this last one, it's a little Black girl screaming, shouting, using her voice, and on her body are painted prolific names of Black women, revolutionaries, and phrases like love and Black girl. This piece is Fawn Fetch by Kimberly M. Biko. Black girls, like fawns, are often suited for rugged terrain. Deer have been used for food and clothing. Black women's bodies have been used for rape and domination for centuries. So this piece is very expressive in its nature. This photo is by Numa Perrier. It's entitled Forsaken. We have this beautiful mahogany woman who's a faceless fugitive. She is a lady in red of sorts, dealing with the pain and shame and anguish of whatever abuse she has suffered in her life. Oftentimes, we can feel a little despondent if we've been hurt in any type of way. So the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network reports that 15% of sexual assault and rape victims are under the age of 12. They are at risk for long-lasting effects as they age, including depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, contemplating suicide, even substance abuse. 93% of juvenile sexual assault victims know their attacker. You are looking at a walking, talking testimony. I was molested by a family member for 5 years. So many times people think of this creepy man lurking in the park with candy, trying to get the kids, and really it's people who are pillars in our communities who you know, like, even love. And a part of what helps the process of awareness is people speaking out about their stories. Oprah Winfrey is very candid about how she was abused by her uncle, her cousin, and a family friend, starting at just 9 years old. So whenever you have a platform, it helps if you can be candid and just transparent with what you've been through. So it can be extremely hard for folks to deal with abuse. Another level of my testimony is being attacked in 59th Street subway station in New York City. My boyfriend, so it's someone that I knew, he grabbed me by the throat and threw me against the wall. And I left him standing there with no money, no train fare, so that was how I got out. Now, this lovely actress is Gabrielle Union. I read about her testimony in a magazine interview. She was 19 years old, working part-time at a shoe store, when a man broke in, beat her, raped her, and later turned himself in. He's currently serving 33 years in prison. You might recognize her face. She's also very public. Another issue, another layer of abuse is domestic violence. It comes in many forms. There's verbal abuse, these venomous words that destruct and hurt rather than build, and sometimes it even is physical. And it's something that is really common, and a lot of times people act like it's not happening when it really is. You might remember Holly Berry. She was married for 5 years to David Justice. Major League Baseball player, and apparently it was reported that he beat her once so hard that she lost 80% of the hearing in her left ear. She grew up in a household where her father was beating her mother, and she spoke about it in 2010 during a CNN interview. Our most recent incident, Rihanna, who hails from Barbados, where my mother is from, she is a talented superstar, really out there in the pop culture. A lot of young girls look up to her. And here you can see this is an endorsement deal. So there are people who are in the public eye who are experiencing these very things. So if celebrities are going through it, how much more than the girl next door? After an alleged beating from Chris Brown, these were the photos that were all over the TV, tabloids, you name it. And it's just like a sad story, but it's also a reality check. These are issues that are dark, that are not easy to talk about, but I feel like it's something that we do need to discuss. You might remember the movie Precious. This is the protagonist from that film, a young girl who suffered abuse and trauma at the hands of her own very mother and different people in life. But it's also a story of redemption, of hope, of love, and I feel that it's one that men, women, anyone can really relate to. This photo was of a young girl in Ghana. You can find it at the Museum of the African Diaspora in San Francisco. And I feel like it just represents the globalization of the world, how close we are connected through technology, and so how easily stories can cross boundaries and lines. And she's also a young girl, and those are the women that I try to fight for. So if you or someone that you know has been abused, there is help. I encourage you to speak out because silence builds walls. And I love creating spaces for healing and restoration. And this is a common topic that we hopefully will talk more about so that healing can be very, very real now and always. Thank you.